Music in the background there from Zachary Ransom, a very young man who's been doing very amazing things. And guess what? This morning we're going to be chatting a little bit about young people who can do some amazing things at Youth on Stage Talent Search, which is happening all courtesy the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. This morning I have with me Ndale Young, who is the Youth Development Coordinator at MyDNS, and Zaria Burton, who's the Corporate Communications Officer. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
How are you all doing this morning?
Good.
Fine, you know.
All right, Zaria, let me start with you, Zaria. Tell us a little bit, just brief history of the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. What's the mandate? What have you guys been mandated to do?
Okay, well, it's a fairly new ministry in the sense that it was established in August of 2020 with the primary focus to promote development opportunities for young people as well as promote national service. We are fondly known as MyDNS. So if you can't remember Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, when you hear MyDNS, that is us. And the ministry is currently under the leadership of the Honorable Foster Cummins.
Nice. Then Ndale, tell me about the Youth on Stage Talent Search. Where was it? Where was the idea? Where did the idea come from, and how has it been rolled out so far?
Well, if we take a moment, first of all, let me just say good morning. Thanks for you all for having us this morning. I think coming out of the lack of the fact of for the last 5 to 6 years, other than TTT making an attempt at bringing back scouting for talent, and was it 12 and under?
Yeah,
outside that, there's been no Miss Tanaba Harrow, no scouting for talent.
We had one this year?
No talent, previously for the last 6 or so years. So remember, we didn't conceptualize this year, we conceptualized last year. And looking at it, Minister Cummings was saying we did a talent explosion at the end of our youth week, youth week last year. And coming out of that explosion, he said, but all this talent we sent all over the country to say whoever talent they want to display. We asked for our YDAs, which are youth development officers, and they came in their numbers. We had over 5,000 youths in the stadium. And he said, I think this is a good idea for us to develop on that. And when we just sitting on point, we realized, but there's no Rising Star, there's no, a number of different programs that would seek talent, but we say that we are the Mecca for Carnival, and this is the home of Steel Pan, and therefore having new talent come to the fore. Now if you have to come on the scene, there's so much options via social media. However, it is, I think it's the mandate of our ministry in particular, looking at that age between 10 to 35, to just develop the cultural aspect and that orange economy as well. So.
And I know you all had the launch on March 8th, which you're seeing images from here on the screen right now. Tell us about how the launch went, Zaria.
The launch was really great. We actually kind of made it into a mini talent show on the spot. So for the young people that were present, they got an opportunity to kind of show us what they like to do, what their talent is. So people demonstrated their talent on the spot. The program was a little different from what the regular ministry program for an event may look like. So we utilized the program to demonstrate, to display the talents that we'd be looking for throughout the talent search. Right. So the welcome remarks wasn't a speech, it was actually a spoken word artist doing an overview about what the Youth on Stage Talent Search is about. We had someone play the pan for the instrument. We had a gospel artist did a praise and worship session for the opening prayer. So that the program actually showed exactly what we're looking for. So for persons who are involved in performing arts, this is for you.
Right. So based on what you're saying there and on the press release, we're looking for people who can sing, dance, instrumentalists, spoken word artists, acting, drumology.
Juggler ball.
And we're welcoming unique acts as well. So
unique acts are accepted. As a matter of fact, I think on these talent shows, the unique acts is the act that everybody's looking for. So if you,
but how do you then assess that? How do I judge somebody who's juggling a ball next to somebody who's playing a complex instrument like the steel pan or the guitar?
But we do have a panel of judges. So we do 10 auditions. And 10 wildcard selections. So 60 people have been selected throughout the country. So we have 10 auditions, 10 different locations all across the country. So we're talking about Toko, not Barrack, but we're going down to Maruga, Point Fortin, Diego Martin, Port of Spain, San Fernando, Cuba, all over. So after in terms of, at each point, there will be a panel of 3 judges, and it's different. We're not using the same type of judges. So you'll be able to judge the acts. And I think even as we go forward, also social media is playing a part in how we move forward.
So that persons can vote for who they want on social media.
We have to have that. Yeah, that is, our customers are youth, so we can't.
Fair. So we're saying that we have 10 auditions, and what happens after the 10 auditions?
Okay, so there are 4 levels to this talent search. We start with the auditions. From there, 60 persons are chosen, and those people will make up the quarterfinalists. An element that we have also incorporated into it is artist development training. So once you make it to the quarterfinals, you will go through that. You'll go through a series of workshops covering topics like performance coaching, vocal training, even money management, because
key.
Yeah. So because if you are starting your career in performing arts, we want you to be able to manage your money and invest in your craft and yourself. So that is also incorporated. So the 60 quarterfinalists, they would go on to receive that type of training. From there, we go to the semifinals, where it goes down to 20 acts. Because we also have groups, so I can't say 20 persons.
20 acts.
Yeah, so 20 acts. At the semifinals, we will have 5 celebrity judges who will then choose 2 people each. So that will then bring it down to 10 persons.
Okay.
They would mentor those persons from the semi-finals point to the finals. So these finals will then showcase the 10 finalists. And then a winner will be chosen from
the 10 finalists. And that winner, I understand, is set to receive $150,000?
Go home with the bag.
Go home with the bag of $150,000. Now, I mean, I know that the ideal thing, I mean, for this competition is not about that final prize money. That's just the cherry on top, right? Yeah. And the training process along the way that you would have mentioned, the workshops.
And,
that for me is
and any mentorship as well.
We also have a program called Amplify, which is a program in the ministry. So the 20 finalists, the 20 semi-finalists, I should say, when we go from 60 to 20, any of those, now it's always the prerogative of the individual to join or not, but we make a cohort of that will deal with stage presentation again, but in over a 6-week period that they'll get a certificate for. And so it's about a different level of voice training for those who are voice artists. And so it's a package for them to be able to be trained even in that point. Because the fun fact is this, even when we look at the past in speaking to people like Aaron St. Louis with voice and Nesta, second star, they were saying that they were not winners of their competition. And a number of the winners may not necessarily continued anything. So we're looking at the across the board development, looking at who will come out from where. We understand, and there are also we do involve the Ministry of Culture and that kind of thing as well. Yeah. Looking at talent search and scouts coming from outside to look at.
So the goal is what then? The goal is to get to train more people to fill up the industry, or is it
artist development on the whole is good, because youth development is our mandate, and in this area we seek to develop the youth. The prize and what they get at the finals, the attraction to the competition, but the fact means that everybody we interact with, as much as we can help them, if it's outside the sphere of the Ministry of Youth, it means that we're preserving them for that point. And we do have involved in this program in the background people like Davlin Thomas, that has been involved in culture for a while and is steering us in terms of how we develop the thing moving forward.
All right, so before we wrap, just tell people how they can, who can audition and how they can sign up to audition.
Okay, so our ministry covers youth, and as a youth, you are considered a youth from the age 10 to 35.
Okay.
So persons 10 to 35.
I don't agree neither, but that's a whole different conversation. Go ahead.
Persons 10 to 35 who are nationals of Trinidad and Tobago are eligible to audition. It is an amateur competition, so you could pre-register from midnight tonight, and when you go to register, you will see the rules and guidelines to confirm your eligibility. So if you're not sure if you're considered an amateur or professional, based on the rules and guidelines, you will be able to confirm that. So 10 to 35 nationals of Trinidad and Tobago who have a talent that they want to display for us, you can come and audition.
You must be, the final night, it should be on the 17th of August. Or something in August.
You had to come back before that, we had to meet some of them finalists sometime.
Yeah.
So you must be 35 up until that day.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to be 35 until August?
Yeah.
Well, boy. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best going forward with it. Of course, you can head across to mydns.gov.tt and get more information and find out how you can be a part of it. Read all the rules and make sure that you're still 35 by the end of August, right? Beautiful. We take a quick break and we come back with more in our morning show. Stay tuned.
Country, my sweet country. I see the backland country. I love my country, boy.